We'll take our arms up and we're gonna pull down. Hello, we'll start with this. Hello, Michelle. Is that Miss Amy? Hello, everybody. It is, I'm waving with my knee. Hello, everybody. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. Good morning, happy Tuesday morning. I'm so glad we're here together. Our bodies are working well enough to be here, and our minds and our spirit. And I'm doing this little band pull down as everybody gets ready. You'll start with your band, pull it down and wide. Now, if you're doing okay and you're ready for another cue, lift up both heels and lower. And as you exhale, you can pull down your arms and lift up your heels at the same time. If I add an extra cue that your mind doesn't want, you can stick with one cue. Good morning, Miss Julie, so that you do that cue correctly. So you're just taking on the layer that you can handle with correct form, with normal breathing, and up. Good. Exhale, pull 5, and you notice when I lift the heels, each toe has equal weight. Sometimes that pinky toe tries to take all the weight, but we're gonna spread the weight out on all the toes. Take 2 more. You're doing great. 1 more. Now take that same dynaband, and it's probably a medium strength if you have a few to choose from. If you don't, just get what you have and have fun with it. Now, I like to have my palms up, and I like to grab a little extra so this thing handles aren't dangling. I'm gonna show the arm move with an exhale. Now, you'll see me move my neck sometimes, and what I'm doing is just sort of confirming that there's no tension in my neck, that our shoulder blades are down the back. So if that's a cue that works for you, you can go for it. Your neck should be able to move freely. Now we're going back to the breathing. We're gonna exhale as we lengthen our elbows. Exhale as we lengthen our elbows. Now I'm gonna add on a lower body cue. If it works for you, great. If you need to just focus on the upper body, then stick with the upper body. This is your class. Here we go. It would be a heel heavy squat. Now I'm gonna go slow because I wanna make sure our form's good, and everybody's a little different. So I've got a slight turnout for my body. See what kind of turnout works well with you. The knees are tracking with your second toe. So another way to say that is the knees don't drift in medially. Exhale. Your heels are so heavy, that's going to put it in your glutes, that your toes could lift at any moment. You can lift them. All right, and I'm going to turn to the side just to show you my booty goes back. I'm not doing something like that. It's as if I'm at a public restroom and I'm kind of hovering back. That's the glute dominant heel heavy cue that we're doing. All right, let's do 4 more. Exhale. You might feel your heart rate go up because these are big muscles. 2. Now we're gonna add a little bonus if you care to. Stay down and do a little 10 pulse. That's a bonus. Hang in there. 5, 4, 3, 2. You did great. Come back up. Woo! Roll out them shoulders. All right, we are going to take a bicep curl. With your heel, one heel, in the middle for most of us, palms face forward. Now I'm gonna put one heel in the middle because this is a pretty tough band. If you have a lighter band, you can do 2 heels. So let's try this, then you'll know where you are. And I know some of you have more than one band, so you can change it as well that way. 3, yes. 4, no, I'm gonna add on the breathing. Generally you can 5, exhale with that harder part. 6, and what I like is that there's a control on the lowering. That looks really good. Everybody looks good on that lowering. You're not just yanking it down with gravity. 9, other thing I like is that the shoulders are down the back. 10, now we're intending to do 10 more here. The form is more important than the number. So if you need to change bands to a lighter band, you can. Another trick to modify if it's getting too heavy is do right, left, right, left. Everyone looks good though. Good, exhale. All right, now we're gonna try the 5 more for 20. Your shoulders are down the back. There's sense of open. I'll show you from the side. I'm not rounded forward. The shoulders are down the back. Take 2 more. Take 1 more. I really like it. I like it so much, we're going to take a reward as a drink. So if you have a drink handy, grab it. Here's my sunshine mug, Miss Karen. Cheers and happy sunshine morning to you. To everyone. Now we're going to take the band, a medium or heavy, in the middle again. And this time I'm going to use 2 heels because it's a little easier move. I'm going to take some more tension up with both heels. I've got both handle lengths the same. Now I'm going to stand tall. We're going to stand tall. Let your elbows go out and then lower. And exhale. And I want you to notice my wrists are in line with my forearms. I'm not hurting my wrist to do an exercise. We're never hurting our joints to do an exercise. So everything should feel good, even if your muscles are getting challenged, your joints feel good. So you'll notice I do this sometimes. It's to make sure my knees are soft. So you can just make sure your knees are long but soft. You're tall. Now we'll do the breath. Exhale and inhale. Good. Your shoulder blades are down the back, even though you're using your shoulder muscles to lift the arms. They're not going up by the ears. Good, I like it. This is deltoid shoulder and bicep. Good, it's like you're zipping up a big parka. Let's take 5 more, 4 more, and 3 more. Exhale, take 2 more, and 1. Now I'm gonna step off. You're doing great. I'm gonna take a lighter band. If you have a lighter band, you might like that as well. The lighter band, I'm going to put underneath a heel. So right heel, right hand, for example. So same side. Now, at first, we're going to lift up our arm. Okay, that feels pretty tough. So all I do to correct is just give my arm a little bit more band. All right, that's good. Exhale. So keep going. Lateral raise. And this is shoulder. That should feel like it's active, but not the neck. It is beside you, but for the safety of the shoulder, it is also slightly ahead of you. So we call that the scapular plane. I can see the hand in my peripheral vision. It's not drifting behind me. That's a little safer place for that shoulder. So even though even if you don't have a shoulder issue, it's just I'm going to bias a high benefit, low risk on the exercises. I want us to keep our shoulders happy, healthy. And notice how there's a little tone in this belly so that you're not shifting. You have a little bit of tone, like a 5%. It's not an aggressive ab crunch, but it's just helpful to keep the ribs over the pelvis. Take 2 more. I like an exhale to lift and an inhale to return. Now we're going to step off. I'm going to switch this over to the other one. Dynabands or elastic tubings will work. I'm on that. I'm kind of guessing on the first one. Okay, that's a little easy. So I'm going to walk a little closer. And that's how you adjust. That's why I like bands so much. Easy adjustment. You can't drop them, or you can drop them, but they don't hurt your body if you drop a band. Now you're tall, jaw parallel to the floor. You're controlled on the way up and on the way down. You're not just letting the band yank you. Good. Exhale. You've got a little bit of tone here. That's it. And you notice how we're just slowing it down. My nature is to get everything done yesterday, and so I'm just kind of making myself have the discipline to slow it down so that my muscles get worked on the way up and the way down. This wrist is neutral. Good. Stand tall, so we're practicing our good posture. That's a little easier to get a full breath into your nose. Let's do 1 more. Exhale. Now, really good. I want to give us a benefit. This is one of my favorite stretches. Take your hands kind of wide here. Now, go up and behind you. This is dynamic. Go up and in front. Isn't that wonderful? Go up. Now, if it's a little tight right here, What you do is just pull your arms wider, your band wider, so that you can keep your elbows pretty long. Good, everyone looks good. Breathe in. Now, we're gonna find a place that felt like a stretch. So for me, somewhere in the Y, see if you can find a Y and hold. Lift your heart, knees are soft. Now, this is just subtle. This is called the three-way doorway stretch. We're doing it with the dynaband. So lower your band an inch or two. And there you go. Hello, Mr. Hummingbird. All right, now we're going to go down a little bit more. You can't get it wrong. As long as this feels good, you're going to feel this posture opening. Breathe in. Now let that go and notice it should be easier just to have the shoulders in a good place. We're going to grab a sip for a reward. We like to try to drink about 8 ounces during this class of something healthy or good, you know, keeping hydrated. I've got coffee. Okay, we're going to put it to the front. Now this is a deltoid shoulder raise too. So stand, let's say right hand, right heel, your band here. All right, go forward. Now when you go forward, for our high benefit, low risk, we're just going up to shoulder height. So if the band's too heavy to do that, give yourself more slack. And notice how you're not leaning back, but it could be tempting, but you've got some tone right here in your abs, right below your ribs, so that you don't lean back. Good, knees are soft. I like it, wrists are long. Shoulder is working, but not the neck. Good. Breathing. Feel that wonderful feeling of strength in your arm. How lucky we are to have this highly functioning body and it's doing what we're asking it. How amazing is that? And 17 and 18, 19, is that Miss Jean? And 20. Let's switch it up. So take this heel, other heel, other hand, pull forward. Okay, now I made it too loose, so what I'm going to do is just step on it. That's the easy correction. Your body's forward. Exhale, a little bit of tone right here. 5, 6, 7, good, I like it. 8, you're tall, your ears in line with the shoulder. 9, from the side. 10, we're preventing the head from going forward. 11, 12, so even though we're working our shoulder, we're helping the body, preventing tech neck or forward head syndrome. You're doing great. I like the control I see. Take 5 more. I like how there's a little bit of tone right here. I can tell because no one's shifting laterally. Take 3 more. Knees soft. 2. I like it. And 1. Oh, looking good. Now I'm going to have us take a band, the band like a medium or so, behind. Now one hand is going to be right around your low back. All right, now I think I got too light of a band. Let me grab another one, but it's okay. That's why we have more than one, or you can just see what works. Now push up with the top hand. Push up with the top hand. And exhale. Good. Now, when your arm is overhead in life or right now, there is a tendency for the low back to get lordotic. So I'm going to have us pull the ribs down a little so that your low back is its normal curve. It's not any more curved. It's not more lordotic. That's going to help prevent wearing and tearing on the vertebra. They'll call it degenerative disc disease, but we're going to protect that with our body mechanics. Ribs down, even when you're putting something away in the counter up high in the kitchen or cabinet up high in the kitchen. Try 10 more. The back of the arm should be starting to burn. This is a really important muscle. If we were to fall, that's the tricep. That's the muscle that catches us and prevents hip fractures if your arms are high and strong enough. So we want that tricep strong. It gets us out of low chairs. And you notice if it's getting too hard, you just give yourself a little bit more slack. 2, 1 more, guys. That arm should be burning. The back of the arm right there, really good. So I'm going to give it blood flow, just kind of shake it out, waggle it. Now the other hand is behind the head, like you're shaving the back of your head. The other hand is just going to catch the low back area is going to catch the band. Here we go. Let's try up, exhale. Good, up, exhale. Now we're going to go over that lower back cue. The low back could be lordotic because our arm's overhead. So I tuck the ribs down just a little bit and I pull the pubic bone up just a little bit. So right here, I've got some ab tone so I don't get lordotic. My low back isn't swayed in more than usual. There's a natural lower back curve, but I'm not letting it go more. Exhale, good. Exhale, Karen, that looks good. Everybody looks good. The postures I'm seeing are wonderful. Make sure your top wrist is happy, that it's not getting yanked backwards by the band. You've got a little tone in it. Neck is soft. Exhale. Knees soft. Now it's starting to get harder, right? So we're going to shoot for 5 more, and if you have to give yourself a little slack, that's better than not finishing the set, isn't it? So good job. 3, 2, here we go. 1. I love it. Take that. I'm going to let go of this, and I'm going to take a stretch. Here's the stretch, fingers interlace. If you can add on to this, take a right hand to your left fingers. If you can add on to this, take a balance pose at the same time. And that's a deliberate glute medius strengthener. One-legged balance is really important to prevent falls. So this could be the pose, or just the arms, or just the leg. I'll hold it here a little longer. Good, guys. Really good. Nice, Karen. All right, here we go. Hands to the heart. Just for a moment, lower that foot. Now, I'm going to offer it in a different position. See if this helps you, or the other way. Tree first, then the arms up. So just knowing you can handle whatever layer and order. Head back against that forearm. Good. And remember, if this arm stretches too much, just interlace the fingers, although everybody I see looks really good. Ooh, yeah. All right, really tall. Here we go. Hands to the front. Lower that foot. Super good, guys. Now I'm going to have us sit on the floor as a challenge. You can sit down without using your hands. So what I mean by that, let me take out my correct toes. One thing you can do, you can come down. If that's not your cup of tea, you can come down. So watch how I kind of lower, because there is a challenge of getting down and off the floor without using your hands. Let me grab this. Heavy band. Now, if you don't have a heavy band, you can also just use 2 bands, or you can choke up on the band. So my legs are out in front. Wrap that band around your heel arch. Cross the band like an X. Hold, so watch how I walk my hands up pretty close. Now, sitting up, here we go. I'm going to try to bend the elbows, and then I'll know if I'm in the right place for my hands. And keep going. I'm going to just go back to a cue. If when you sit, you feel like you're rounded, you'll want to grab a yoga block to sit on, or a pillow, or even a foam roller works, because the hamstrings are tugging, can be tight, and they can be tugging you into this posterior tilt, which is hard on the disc. So if it's hard for you to sit up, just grab something. I'm going to turn so I'm not turning my neck. All right, so bend your elbows past your rib cage. I like a palm up or a thumb side up of the hand so it's neutral or supinated. You should feel your biceps, your back, and your rear deltoid. Exhale as you pull. And these are some of my favorite exercises so that we're building our muscles that keep our posture upright. And I'm going to add some more cues. You're doing so good. Breathe in through your nose. The whole class if you can, and breathe out of your nose. That helps with immunity, helps with parasympathetic response. That a girl. So pull, exhale. Now we are going to add on. When you're ready, you're going to rotate to the right as you pull your right arm, thoracic rotation, and then return to your normal neutral position. Left arm pulls. Now exhale. Rotate, only one arm is pulling, and now the other arm's pulling. Now I'm going to add on one more cue. Your hand's going to flip to be palm up, and then it's going to return to neutral. Palm up and neutral. So if that's too much, just worry about the rotation and the arm pull. Thoracic rotation, this thing that we're doing with our back right now, is critical for upright posture preservation. Because every time you walk, you rotate, your spine rotates. And if it can't rotate well, if it doesn't have that flexibility to call upon in rotation, it starts getting rounded. So this exercise right here is good to help preserve posture. Upright posture helps with breathing. Breathing helps with mood. Mood helps, mood and energy are linked to breath. So breathe in that nose, fill your lungs with precious air. Feel it here, and then it's easier to do during the day. You've set the tone for the day when you're doing it here. All right, one more each. You're doing fabulous. 1 and 1. Now, we're going to let go of this band, and I'm going to show you the rack posture. Go up and back. Now, do the best you can with this one. Go up, 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 and back. Now, I'm going to soften my elbows. Most of us will be hyperextensive if we don't, and then lift your heart. Breathe in, and your neck is in check. You're not kind of carelessly tossing it. You've got a little chin tuck here. Breathe in to that heart. Every day your body, your spine wants thoracic extension, especially to counterpose the forward stresses of living, the forward repetitions of living. Breathe in. And then exhale, let it go. And guys, we're going to grab another sip. We're doing our 8 ounces-ish. Here's to coffee. I know it gets a bad rap, but it decouples mitochondria, and we all need that, so I like coffee. All right, we're going to take your band. I like a medium, not so heavy on this one, around the heel arch. And I say that too so that the band doesn't fly off your toes. So pull your arms a little wider than your hips. So for the fingers not to run into the ground, the hands are a little wider than your hips. So I'm going to turn so you have different angles. If you have this elastic tubing with the kind of plastic handle, I like to lead with the pinky side of the hand, and I'm not even grasping. So just kind of knife your arm, your hand, and you're real tall. You're going to feel your triceps and your lats, and maybe your abs a little bit, so that you're in your spine muscles, your erector spinae, so that you're up tall. Neck is easy. Now we're adding the exhale. Breathe out. Breathe out, and now try the breathing in through your nose and the breathing out through your nose. You might have already been doing that. I do well with repetition and reviewing the cues. All right, here we go. Now a little different, guys. I'm lifting up the arms a bit. You notice they're still lower than shoulder height, and the palms are facing each other, the back of the hands leading the way. This is rear deltoid. This is a really important muscle to prevent rounded shoulders, forward rounded shoulders. A lot of people think that posture has to go forward with age. It does not. This is what we're doing to combat it. It's a nice feeling of having a little bit more say over our future, isn't it? All right, so 3, 2, now lower the handles, cross the handle. I've got an X now. The elbows are in tight to my sides. Open up your forearms to the side. I'm going to look down on this just for a moment. So the wrist, I'm checking. I'm verifying that they're neutral. For some reason, this exercise, it's real easy to get kind of wonky in the wrist. So just check. All right, your shoulders are down the back. Now this is, if you've ever had any shoulder issues, you've gotten this exercise in your rehab program. We like to do it as prehab, so we're preventative. This is a great exercise to keep the shoulders healthy. Notice it's not huge. It's not like a big squat or an overhead press or bench press, but it's this little tiny muscles that really are helpful. All right, try 3 more. 2, 1. Now I'm going to roll, roll, roll. Uncross, parallel, make those wraps parallel. If you do not have osteoporosis and you would like to add a little flexion to your spine, Bend your elbows. If you have osteoporosis, stay seated, choke up on the band, and do your biceps here. So if you don't have osteoporosis, if you otherwise healthy spine, in other words, or no osteoporosis, you can do the biceps curl and sneak in an ab crunch. All right, guys, finish out with 10, 9, 8, good. Separate the hands a little bit, Julie, and see if that feels better. So instead of the pinkies touching, open up a little. Yeah, try that, good, good, good. Good, 4, that'll open the shoulders. 3, 2, 1. Now come up, let the band go, grab a sip for a second. You guys did great. Now every day your spine wants to do a few movements. One is rotation. I'm gonna have a sit crisscross applesauce rotate and then have a turn. You can sit any way you want though. Inhale, open the arms and rotate. Now open up, inhale. Now exhale, lateral flexion. Breathe, this is Michelle's favorite. So just feel how this is. And you can do any angle you want. This is a great posture stretch. Breathe into this rib cage. Now go up and over. It's like you're going over a fence and over. Oh goodness, reach, breathe, 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 breathe. And then just take a moment. We'll take our hands to our heart and let your eyes soften or close. And we're going to give an intention of wellness and radiance to our body. Look at all the amazing things it just did for us for the last 30 minutes. How precious is that? We're going to give an intention of wellness and peace to our mind. It's the thing that got us here. Thank you, mind. We're going to give you the best intentions the rest of the day of wellness and radiance into our spirit, that part of us that is beyond physical. At this moment, let's bless our body, mind, and spirit to the highest good. Intend for it peace and wellness with so much appreciation. Thank you guys so much. Have a gorgeous day. Thank you for